I'm Drake Shockett with your local news. Our story today is Odysseus and his men park their boat on a beach. Alright, so they get up out of the boat and explore. You know, maybe trying to find some like food or some wild game to shoot. But they wander into this big cave. So they wonder, what is that? They see animal tracks heading inside of it. So they're like, game? Food? Why not? So they head inside. Inside, they see valuables, livestock, a lot of livestock, and food. The men are just in awe on how much food there is. So the men tell Odysseus, let's take the food, the valuables, and the livestock, and get out of there. Odysseus wondered what lived inside that cave. And then he had a hunch. A cyclops. So he told his men to wait behind bushes and trees to see the cyclops. His men really did not want to, but they finally agreed. So they hid behind trees and bushes and stuff, and Odysseus waited anxiously to see the giant cyclops. And he showed up, big cyclops. He came in, closed his door, this big open mouth of his cave. He closed it with this giant boulder that 10 horse-drawn carriages could not move. So Odysseus and his men are trapped. And Odysseus is like, oh no, oh no. Cyclops walks in, sets his stuff down, and starts a fire. When he starts the fire, he sees shadow of little people. And then he turns around at the shadows and he shouts, "Who's there?" And nobody says anything. Odysseus tries to quiet his men down because his men are kind of getting scared and stuff, But Odysseus calms his men down. So Cyclops says again, "Who's there?" And then Odysseus, our hero, steps up, walks straight to the Cyclops and says, "It is I, nobody." And then the Cyclops says, "Nobody, eh? How'd you get here?" And then nobody says, "I came here. I was shipwrecked, me and my crew, by Poseidon's big waves. Destroyed our ships to bits." And then the Cyclops is like, "Oh, alright. So, what are you gonna do now? You gonna rob me?" And nobody's like, "No, no, no. But you better be nice to us because Zeus is watching us, and if you're not nice to us, he will bring the thunder down on top of your head and destroy you." And then the Cyclops says, "I ain't no scared of the own gods." And then, out of the blue, snatches 2 of Odysseus' men and eats them. Just eats them. Gone. Period. Gone. He gets tired and takes a nap after he just ate 2 of his men. Odysseus is horrified. So Odysseus gets some men, and he gets a spear made from the top of a tree. You know what he does? He takes it, and he stabs it right in the eye. That's it for now.
This is Ron Burgundy with breaking news. We have won the war on the Trojans. Achilles and the great Odysseus. They have gone out there and slain them all. Achilles was brave enough, and he went against their great warrior hero, Hector. And what he did was he speared him while he was riding by on his chariot. It was an amazing shot. I don't think anyone else could make it. But then he got on his carriage and he rode with Hector tied onto the back, on the ground, and screaming, "I have slain Hector." It was an amazing sight, but we're just so glad we have just won. It is such an amazing victory. Another thing is that we are sorry to say that Achilles has been slain. It just happened yesterday. It's a sad, sad moment for all Greek kind. There is no date for any reception or anything yet. We will have that when we go back.
Man, was that just amazing. Now, time for your weather with Brick Hapley. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Drake Shockey. I am Brick Hapley with your weather. On the island of Helios, there's going to be heavy, heavy, heavy rain coming in. This is going to last for about a month, right? Heavy winds are going to come in with that storm, and the waves are going to get all mangled and crazy, and they're going to be battering on the beaches and cliff sides and docks of this island. So I recommend that you all get out of that area, alright? If you live there, pack your bags and get on a ship and get out of there. If you're docked there for supplies or something, get out of there. But if you cannot leave for some reason, do not eat the livestock on that island. Because as we found out that Odysseus is his men, when they ate his livestock, he got super duper pissed, alright? Helios does not like it when people do that to him, alright? He gets so angry. I mean, it is just insane, alright? But 100% chance of rain for a month. I say again, for a month, alright? For a month, alright? And then we got heavy, 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 and very, very strong winds coming in. And it's going to be crazy. The sea is going to be, you cannot sail at all on that sea, alright? Now there's a cave over here on the south part of the island. That if you're a sailor and you're caught in this giant tsunami of death and destruction, get to that cave as fast as you can. It provides shelter, alright? And you just fish for... This shelter in the south part of the island is very, very, very helpful for surviving those waves, alright? And if you are caught in that waves, in that storm, get to that cave immediately. And I say again, immediately, because it is a prime spot for fishing, alright? And if you don't like fish, well, too bad for you, alright? Because if you kill the livestock, Helios is going to get super duper angry, alright? Super duper angry. And we all know how that went down with Odysseus and his men when they killed the livestock, alright? So, you get that cave, alright? And you're sitting there for like a month, alright? And you just don't know what to do, you know? Stay there. We are going to send rescue boats to pick up anyone on the island that is still there or trapped there. And we'll bring food and blankets and supplies for everyone. Alright? So, that has been your weather with Brick Hapley. To you, Burt Macklin. Thank you for that wonderful weather report, Brick Hapley. Now, time for your sports with Burt Macklin. For that introduction, Drake Shockey, I am Burt Macklin with your sports. Today, I'm going to go out and about doing the sports. I'm going to rate them for you, my viewers. Whittling. It's a very, very peaceful sport. Takes a little time to do, but it's very satisfying. I'll give you that. It is just so quiet and peaceful, and you picture something in your mind. You have a piece of wood, and you just let that come on out, and you make it. Now, what I envisioned is the spear that Odysseus used to kill the Cyclops. Now, it's not state-of-the-art or by any means, but I think it looks pretty much like the spear that he used. Alright? There's this amazing knife that my cameraman gave me, and it's pretty amazing. It's very sharp, and it's do the job. This SOG knife, it's probably one of the better knives to use when you're whittling, because it's sharp. So I recommend getting a SOG knife. And yeah, I rate this sport 5 stars. Why do I rate it 5 stars? Because just the peace and quiet and the artistic and just everything about it is just so amazing about it. I mean, look at this. This is just a remarkable spear, alright? Now, do you think Odysseus could make a spear similar to this one, bigger, if he didn't know how to whittle? No. Alright, whittling comes in handy in life because you learn how to defend yourself and how to make weapons to defend yourself. Now, I will do archery. And I am going to... I've heard it's a lot of fun, but, you know, I just want to try it for myself. I hope it's fun. I'm Burt Macklin with Your Sports. Now I am going to do archery. Here is a replica of the longbow that Odysseus used to kill everyone in his household and shoot an arrow through 12 axe handles. Alright, now it's not exactly a replica, but it's just a little smaller, but it's a good replica. Alright, now I'm going to shoot this arrow accurately. Alright, there's no target, but that's okay. I'm just going to shoot it for the first time. Alright, I've heard this archery thing is a lot of fun, and I'm hoping it's going to be fun, you know, and then I can give you guys a rate. Alright, so when you pull the bow back, you don't want your arm right against the string because you will slice your arm in half. Because these bows are very, very, very powerful. So when you pull it back, you kind of want your arm a little sideways, you know, so you don't scrape the heck out of your arm. Now we got some sights on it, you know, so you can aim for depth, you know. Top one's close, middle one's medium, and the bottom one is far. Alright, but we're not going to use that. We're just going to shoot the arrow. Alright. So, well, I guess here I go. Well, not Odysseus standards, but I think that was pretty good. So, I rate this sport, and I say again, this amazing sport, 5 stars also. Why? Because it is just that your form, you have to have good form, and the feeling that you get when you shoot an arrow is just unbelievable. And for you taking my ratings into heart, when you guys go hunting for elk or deer, or just doing some slaying of evil creatures, when you make your first kill, it is just amazing. The feeling that you get is just remarkable. So, I really hope that you guys do this. Go out there and get yourself a bow, or if you paid attention in my whittling class, you can make one. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. I hope you all go and get yourself a bow, because it is just amazing. The feeling and just everything. It takes some strength, it takes form, and if you can't pull your bow back for some reason, go talk to an expert about a bow, because if you go talk to the expert, they will either get you a smaller caliber bow with smaller poundages, or just teach you good form to pull the bow back. And for some reason, if the bow doesn't fit right in your hands, you might be left-handed, or if you're already doing it left-handed and you thought you were left-handed, try it in the right and see how it feels. Because sometimes people just don't know, because holding a bow is kind of weird. But I am going to stick with this sport, and I'm going to get really good at it, because it was just so much fun. I cannot even express how much fun it was. You guys just have to go out there and try it for yourself. Now, back to you, Drake Shockey. Thank you, Burt Macklin. This has been your Ithaca News. I hope you enjoyed our show today, and I hope you watch it next time. And by the way, these papers are blank! Ah!